that may be the last thing you ever do right. You worry about how it always sounds so long ago. You can't see it starting over again. And all we know it's wrong, but we're not quite setting behind. Tell me if you're awake. Can I talk to you again? Tell me, was it mistakes that have made us only friends? Now I notice how you don't stay anyways. Don't you wait to come back. 'Cause I've been gone a long time and you never knew. You worry about how it always sounds so long ago. You can't see it starting over again. And all along we know it's wrong, but we're not quite setting behind. Tell me if you're awake. Can I talk to you again? Tell me, was it mistakes that have made us only friends? Now I notice how you don't stay anyways. Don't you wait, don't you wait. Don't you wait, don't you wait. No, don't you wait. Falls apart and yet still we start, 'cause we're not quite setting behind. Tell me if you're awake. Can I talk to you again? Tell me, was it mistakes that have made us only friends? Now I notice how you don't stay. All along we know it's wrong. I was not DOA. It falls apart and yet still we start. That's how we play these games. So say it now if you ever will. And please don't hesitate. And just don't wait. And I've noticed now you don't stay anyways. Take your words back home, but back away nice and slow. Feel the ebb and flow. Please get sucked out to sea. I wonder where you are, 'cause you know I take these things kinda extra hard. This back and forth won't take me anywhere I need to be. I can't need you anymore. You're out there, you're on your own, and I can't need you anymore. They say all good things must end, but it's been too long since I've seen one again. It's over now, you played your role, now it's time to dissipate. I may not get very far, let's be honest, I will never be a star.
mighty good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Araya SimSpeedShop Cup Series for race number 5. We are live at Dover for the War Against the Monster 160. I'm your lead announcer, Hunter Sleppy, and joining me in the booth, my right-hand man for tonight, Ken Kushwa, and executive producer, Harold Darner. How's it going, guys?
Going good. How you doing tonight? All ready for a little bit of monster-eating cars tonight?
Yeah, it's been a battle all week long with the monster, Miles the Monster, that is. Really has a appetite for race cars, as the exits of turn 2 and turn 4 have been a problem all week throughout all the Araya series. Should be an interesting one though tonight. It's going to be the longest race of the week for any of the series, 160 laps here. Should be an interesting one. Currently got, I believe, was that 17 drivers in. So a little bit less than the previous nights, but it should make for Miles the Monster to be even more hungry.
Well, he fed on Monday night. He fed definitely on Tuesday night when we called the trucks. I watched last night's and he fed early, but he kind of stopped feeding after a while. And then tonight I have a feeling, watching the practices and everything else, unless these guys figure something out, that he's going to eat again.
Speaking of eating, as we look at our playoff picture, all the winners so far have been VRA drivers. They've been eating it up throughout the first 4 races. All 3 drivers have won a race. Eric Wineland is on a 2-race winning streak. Could he make it 3 for 3? 3 in a row here. As you look throughout your playoff picture, you see you got the top 3 VRA guys. Then you got Danny Ware, Jacob Bell, Mr. Ryan Honeycutt, Delonte Ballard, Garrett Heath, David Weishart, Ed Robertson in the 10th place for points. Really nice, solid running for him. Garrett Grant, Christian DeBoer holding the last spot. Before we get to the drivers on the outside looking, as you see Blair Patterson the first there, 13th in the points, 8 points out. Ken, if there's anyone that you can pick from the outside of the points looking in, who makes it into that top 12?
I want to say the guy in 20th, but I mean, that's a lot to make up. I've seen Ryan Hart's drive like crazy. I just feel like he needs to get a break. You know what? I don't care that he's 62 laps or 62 points down. I say he wins a race and gets in that way. I'm going with Ryan Hart.
Ryan Hart, he did win the truck race earlier in the week.
Right.
Really nice running for him. You see there, Kyle Knapp and Shaquille O'Reilly. I'm hoping that Shaquille O'Reilly can have a solid run along with Tyler Holman. Shaquille O'Reilly, he's just had bad luck all year in the Araya SimSpeedShop Cup Series, and I'm hoping that he can turn around here at Dover, have a good finish. If he is at the track, I don't see him. That is very unfortunate.
Maybe he's gonna sneak in here quickly, but yeah, he's had a tough time. And Tyler Holman too has had a tough time as well. So I'd like to see these guys not have issues.
Well, we're coming up on a 1-week break for all 4 series next week. It'll be an off week. So for the drivers on the outside looking in that are deep in a hole like Shaquille O'Reilly and Tyler Holman, it'll give them a week to decompress and regroup themselves before we get into our next race of the season, in which for the Cup Series, that is, it'll be at none other than Nashville Super Speedway and sister track of Dover, in which some of the stands you see, the virtual stands you see, went to that track. So it should be an interesting one 2 weeks from now. Not next week, 2 weeks from now.
This is showing the old seating configuration, because at Dover, it's a lot less seats now than they used to be.
So. Come on, man. We were talking about the lights last night, and Ken, since this is your home track more than it is mine, because I've just adopted it the last few years being here, the lights are actually for the infield track and the concerts, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken, not for the NASCAR track.
They are not for the NASCAR track. They originally were for, if you see the circle, it was sulky racing, horse racing. They used to run them there at night, and you could sit in the casino or sit out there next to the casino and look out. That's what they initially, the lights were for, was for night horse racing.
A lot of guys are seeing the lights, and they're like, well, how come we're not doing a night race? I'm like, because it's not for the track.
Not bright enough.
It won't work.
Shadows. Yeah.
It will not work.
Anytime you see those late night pictures of Dover or Talladega, the first thought that come to mind for the fans, when are we getting a night race? Don't know if that'll happen anytime for any of those two tracks.
It's got to be pretty darn expensive to put lights at a racetrack.
Yep.
Yep,
And
so
I
we
don't
got
even know if those poles are still there anymore, to be honest. I was there. You know what? I've got a widescreen shot. I can take a look at it, but I don't know that they are there anymore.
So we see the cars on the track, a little less than 4 minutes remaining now in our practice session. Before we get to qualifying, let's go and take a look at who's on the top of the chart right now. It's the #1 car in the first spot, Nate Trito.
What's the name we don't say?
Trito had a solid run last week. And right below him is Danny wearing the 18.
Now that's somebody we say every once in a while. Now don't. Dave Weishart sitting there in the 3rd spot.
Garrett Heath in 4th, and then 5th place. You mentioned him earlier, Ryan Hartz in the 03.
I'm getting an itch. I feel it. Like there's something coming with Mr. Hartz, and so winning you're in. That's all he's got to do, right?
Yeah, he's looking to build. He had a great run last week at Vegas, and then mentioned it earlier. He won the Northern Capital Truck Series race here Tuesday night. Looking to cap it off with a Cup Series win to help him propel into the off week. So you see that's the 67 car of Ryan Honeycutt. He was in the top 5 earlier on. He's dropped down to 7th.
He's probably eating. That's why.
Pretty much. I mean, I think he goes to Wawa, you know, or picks up one of them Dunkin' Donut things, you know.
Who?
Mr. Honeycutt.
You mean
Yeah, I'm not sure what Honeycutt eats, but the first time we caught him doing it, it looked sloppy. So.
Looking throughout the chat also. Miles the Monster is my hero, says
Oh.
D-Trade. Oh, glad we cut away from that. That was a... Oh.
See what
See?
happened was.
we mentioned it earlier, and you just saw it there. You had practice issues in practice. Drivers coming off turn 2 hitting the wall. Drivers coming off turn 4 hitting the wall. Those are going to be the trouble spots tonight, and they've been the trouble spots all week long.
Another thing that's been pretty issue all week is getting down to 35 miles an hour before the pit lane begins. If you get caught speeding in here, you'll be going back for a penalty. Drivers have throughout the week have gotten penalties in every series this week.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because not only do the guys doing this have problems, but the guys in real life have problems. If you've ever been to a race there, those guys have a real hard time hitting that pit lane at the speed they need to. It's a huge bank, and you're trying to low down and to 35 miles an hour. I mean, you might as well just throw a chute behind them.
The first driver that comes to mind whenever you're trying to slow down getting on the pit road is Matt Kenseth, I believe, back in 2004.
Took out
Spun
the
out.
barrels.
He
Right.
hit the tire barrier and then got stuck on the wall.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's
Yeah,
not
we've
where
come
the
a long
car
way
is
since
supposed to go.
2004. No, not at all.
I was there for the Indy cars, and one of the Indy car guys missed it and literally just launched himself like a plane.
Well, you know that.
Yeah, thank goodness we don't use any cars there anymore.
Well, the Dallara Indy car, if you think about it, it's really an airplane upside down. That's how much downforce it creates. If they flipped it up, it'd fly.
All right, so I have looked at my panoramic shot of Dover, and it does still have the lighting in the infield. So that is an accurate photo.
Yeah, Dover does need another rescan by iRacing, so iRacing, get to it. Hook us up before next year with a new rescan.
What's up, guys? We got the pack checking in. It's your boy York and Ryan. What is that?
Ryan is rowdy. I believe
Ryan-
that's Ryan
Rowdy.
Honeycutt,
Ryan,
saying
I'm
65-ish on gas.
Yeah, he's checking in. I think he's maybe last night they were pushing it at 60 with caution, so
All right, so the argument is somebody went at least 68 to win it, right? 68
But that's
laps,
with
and
3
that's
cautions.
with cautions. Absolutely, that's with cautions. But the argument was, how does that happen? Well, it happened, and they both ran out of gas coming off of 4, and then you saw what the final was.
It's called clutch saving, or even turning the car off.
Somebody said turning it off. Yeah,
you can do that in this iRacing. I don't recommend it. I do a lot of clutch driving. You're basically pushing the clutch in all the way and letting the car just coast around the racetrack. That'll save a lot of fuel as well.
These pedals, I can't do the clutch. I found out it's just gas and brake, and I don't even touch the brake. So
you don't touch the brake? I didn't think you touched the brake at all.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
He knows where the loud pedal is, but that's about it.
That's it. Hey, and if you guys want to follow us too, you got @HunterSchleppy and @Cushy32 on Twitter. Both of us, I know, are watching feeds because we talked about it before it happened. So hit us up there if you want to as well.
Looks like we're watching qualifying right now. It's a 10-minute session, 2 laps for each driver. That of which you see the 4, Matt Alverson, just went to the top of the chart. That's going to change throughout the session. Delonte Ballard now moves up to that first spot, and it's going to change all throughout this session.
Yep.
There, you do not want to do that, and that's going to erase the second lap time for Matt Alverson. So that's going to leave him at a 22.197. Touched on it before. If you smack the wall or if you just lightly graze it, your lap time will not count. And if you do that on your second lap, like Matt Alverson did, then you're kind of stuck with what you got on your first lap.
A lot of these guys have been doing the high side run on lap number 1, so that's a slow lap because they're just getting as much heat into the tires so they can really manhandle the car in the second lap. And that's usually what it seemed David Weishart did. He was in 5th, and then he moved himself up to the 2nd spot.
Yeah, Alverson manhandled the car a little bit too much there on the exit of 4. Here's Davey Hendricks in the 54. Puts up a 22.387.
Running that Skittles look there. Shout out to AJ. Of course you're on there. And Elwood Blues, you're right. He does need to stop being so vicious. He's probably got a gallon of baby oil already.
Oh,
back end kicks out on that. Saved it though.
Yeah, loose there on corner exit for the 54, and he's in the wall there, but his lap time is already done. He ran a 22.116, even though he got loose there. There's Ryan Honeycutt running the top, then going back down to the bottom. This should be the end of his first lap.
Let's go, Sandwich.
Actually, that was the beginning of it. This is the beginning of his first lap.
Oh, well then he better put the sandwich down.
Looking through, going to come across turn 4 down the front stretch to the line. And Ryan Honeycutt's going to put himself currently 3rd on his first lap.
Yeah, that was a good looking run.
Oh,
not that
he
time.
Got loose. Oh.
He was trying to get it. With everything he had out there, he put it all out there.
I think he's going to go, well, that's good enough. I'm getting off of here.
Mr. Heath.
Yeah, Garrett Heath to the top of the chart, so 22.018. Could we see a lap time into the 21s?
Without touching the wall? That's a good question.
He's going to wiggle it across the line. Garrett Heath still going to be your pole sitter for the moment. A little over 6 minutes left in our qualifying session. He knocks off Delonte Ballard, who drops to 2nd on the chart.
Well, they're saying that Danny Ware, these boys over here, AJ and Elwood, saying Danny Ware. I don't know. We'll see.
No, Danny Ware is currently 7th right now.
Yeah. So there ain't no Raskian.
Well, Nate Trito moved up to 2nd on the chart, so move Ballard now down to 3rd.
Well, now he was fast in practice too. Nate was.
Yep, Trito was indeed the fastest in practice. On the second lap, though, I don't believe he bested the 23. No, he did not. Oh, yeah, he didn't. So here's the 52 of Tyler Holman.
23. So let's see what he does on this next one.
With 23.598 for the 52 car.
Danny already chimed in and said he's terrible. It's a tough track, Danny. I get it.
Good corner exit for Holman. Didn't see the car kick out at all, and that 52 car is going to put it in the 10th spot. Be a 22.355. Well, spoke too soon. Looks like Mr. McClendon moved up in the 8th spot, so that's going to knock Holman out of the top 10. Here's Ryan Hartz in the 03. Oh, he might have gotten in the wall there.
That would be his first lap, so he'll have another shot here, but that one won't count.
I hope I didn't speak a jinx on him. I'd feel really bad if I did.
Yeah, he ran a 22.657. That would have been good. Well, he wouldn't have been in the top 10. There you see him working the bottom through 3 and 4.
Gotta hold it. Yeah.
Comes
That's
across the line. This lap will count. 15th for the 03.
Yeah. I think he lost a little bit coming off of 2, as a matter of fact, on that run. If you saw it, his back end kind of left him. So.
Yeah, top 5 speed in practice, but did not translate into the qualifying segment.
No.
Here's Christian DeBoer, the 56 Miller Racing Graphics machine. Oh, and he hit the wall on his outlap. So, if there's any time you want to hit the wall, I guess now would be the time.
That's right.
So here he is. He's going to take the green flag for his first of 2 laps. Looking throughout the board, all but 3 drivers now. So that's Ed Robertson, Eric Wineland, who's on a winning streak of 2 races, and Jacob Bell have yet to come out and put down a lap. Still over 3 minutes left in qualifying. DeBoer's going to put the 56 car coming across the line. We'll see what spot he puts it in. And DeBoer 16th on the chart right now.
I'm guessing Wyman wants to see what happens. Yeah, and they're humming off the 2, aren't they?
Yep, Wyland is, well, he's rolling through 3 and 4 right now.
Eric was giving me a little pointers on this track, not my favorite track, basically saying that you can enter low, which I was not able to ever do, come up the track a little bit and then back for a double apex in each of the corners, which he's trying to do here. As you see, an apex up and then back and apexing there as he comes out of 4.
Yeah.
He's coming across the line here. He was 17th on that first lap. He puts it up in the top 5.
Jump up top 5.
It's a 22.115 for that number 12 machine. And the only 2 who have yet to go out, Ed Robertson and Jacob Bell. So still a little over 2 minutes left in qualifying, but it looks to me, guys, like Garrett Heath's going to take away the pole.
Hold on now. Here comes the ball.
Oh. Spoke too soon. Jacob Bell in the 77 coming out onto the track. We'll see what the Loxahatchee native can do.
He's far from his home, let's just put it that way.
Yeah, real far.
Coming around town.
You see Jake working the bottom of 3 and 4.
Yeah, it comes out of 4. Nice and clean. I don't know how. 22.15, that's going to get him in there pretty good.
That's a good lap time for the 77. He's currently 8th. Could improve on that lap. Will he knock off the 23 of Garrett Heath?
I'm going to say no, but we'll see here. See how clean he is. That is a nice turn off of 4 again. Nope. Second lap a little slower.
Yeah, a little slower. 22.248 for Jacob Bell. And that's going to put him in the 8th spot. So the lone driver who has yet to go out, Ed Robertson. And we have about 30 seconds left in qualifying, so I believe that's going to do it. Your front row looking like it's going to be Garrett Heath and Nate Trito.
Well, let's see what 19 cars all look like when they're driving around. There shouldn't be, like I was talking about it off air, we shouldn't see a whole lot of chaos. But you know what? This track creates its own chaos. And as we see in practice, as we saw in qualifying, and you talked about it a lot, Hunter, is coming off of 2 and coming off of 4. That elevation change tends to kick people up into the walls. And this is a self-cleaning track too, so they come down.
Well, they don't call it the War Against the Monster for nothing. Here's your starting lineup for the War Against the Monster 160 here. Your front row is going to consist of Garrett Heath on the pole, and then alongside him, Nate Trito.
Row two's got Mr. Delonte Ballard in the 21 and Scott McClendon in the 29.
Row number 3 is going to be Eric Wineland looking to make it 3 in a row, and alongside him, the number 54 of Davey Hendricks.
Row number 4 is the 67 of Ryan Honeycutt and the boss number 77, Jacob Bell, riding next to him.
Row 5, we'll find the 3 of David Weishart, and alongside him, the 18 of Danny Ware.
On the row number 6, you got Matt Alverson in the 4, and then Blair Patterson in the 91 there.
Yep, and then in row number 7 is going to be the 52 Tyler Holman, and alongside him, the 17 of Daniel Pearson.
Then you got row 8, Mr. Dean Prince in the 99, Garrett Grant in the 5.
And then in row number 9, it's going to be the 03 of Ryan Hartz and the 56 of Christian DeBoer. And last but not least, one driver who did not put up a time, the 64 of Ed Roberts. Going to start 19th. That's going to round out our field for the War Against the Monster 160.
The question is, do I throw a Sasquatch award to these guys? I know the truck guys have it, and Nick Holt has gotten it twice, but I don't know. Should we bring it out here?
Only time will tell. That is an interesting route that the one of Trito took to get onto the racetrack.
Yeah, I like that.
Not really sure what's going on there. Seems like he's off the track. Or he's
just
stuck on
checking the
outside.
wall out in case he ever has to get up there, what it's going to look like up close. That's all. It's picking up speed now.
Yeah, not really sure what's going on there with the one of Trito.
He's been given an EOL from Race Control, the number 1 of
Really?
Nate Trito. Could be a contingency sticker
I was going to say, is
violation.
it a sticker thing?
Yeah, that's why I was just about to touch on. It might be a contingency issue. Before the green flag flies, any picks, anyone?
And it is exactly that.
I'm still going to stick with Ryan Hartz. I don't know if he can come from way back there and runs consistent, but I'm going to stick with him.
I think Nate Trito is going to basically surprise the heck out of us.
We got a wonky start here. Green flag out at Dover. 160 laps.
That was odd, wasn't it?
Yeah, as for me, I do not have a pick.
Well, spin around 3 times in your chair and just point to your timing screen.
The timing screen shows everyone. And it shows the 23 Garrett Heath coming across the line to lead lap number 1. Looks like we had a driver who disconnected because we're down to 18 cars.
Yeah, it was Mr. Pearson, I believe.
17? Yeah, it might have been.
Daniel Pearson
Yep.
did not take the green flag.
Elwood's got Delonte, and the Eric 101 says Honeycutt for the win.
We're going to Ryan Honeycutt. He's currently in the 8th spot. Garrett Heath putting down the fastest lap so far. Only lap number 3, but wanted to get away from the competition early.
All right.
This track, I don't blame him.
It's going to be real interesting to see the one of Nate Trito come from the back to the front because he did qualify second, but because of
Whoa,
contingency
contact
issues-
on turn 4.
Yep, that's the 5 of Garrett Grant colliding with the 52 of Tyler Holman. So far, no caution. Everyone keeping it straight.
I wonder if Tyler gets in here and just goes, what on earth do I have to do to get through clean?
Yeah, I have no clue either. It looked like the 5 of Garrett Grant got up out of the groove and was trying to stay out of the way and the wall, and then ended up hitting both.
Yeah, tied machine all the way up to 12th already.
Yeah, he's moving right along, that's for sure.
Yep. Whoa, you saw Holman there in the back getting loose, fighting that 52 car. Right up there's the 67 Ryan Honeycutt. Up to 7.
Honeycutt got a little low on that last turn. Hopefully he rethinks it the next time around, but I think he almost caught the apron on that.
Got the 91 of Blair Patterson there behind him in the 8th spot.
and Dave Weidhart right behind them. And then Jacob pulling up the choo-choo there. But everybody seems to calm down a little bit. This track can tend to let someone get away and get away quickly. But McClendon's holding pretty close, 0.3 of a second on him. Behind.
Yeah, Scott McClendon not really letting that leader of Garrett Heath go. And Delonte Ballard's sticking within the top 2 as well.
Yeah, he's
Really-
not
really
not far either.
Yeah, we really haven't talked much about Delonte Ballard throughout the year. He's having a solid run
Caution
so far.
out on the racetrack.
Oh, caution's out. Looking like it's Ed Robertson. I'll have to take a look here in our one to go replay. Yep, and
Ed,
there
Ed
at the-
got help, yeah. Ed and Mr.
here's the
Prince.
tail end of that. We'll try and get another look here. It looked like he collected the 99 of Dean Prince in that.
Sure
See what happened.
Oh, see what happened was.
Oh, and it
Oh, Mr. Prince was down low. Ed Robertson, he had
Wow.
nowhere to go.
Yeah, that would definitely not the 64's issue. 99, probably if we go back to the 99 here a second, and I will run him, and I bet his issue was that he came off of turn 4 hot, is probably what happened.
Yeah, we'll take a look here and see what happened with the 99. Yeah, we mentioned it in the broadcast multiple times. Turn 2 and turn 4 have been the tricky spots throughout the week for the drivers. See
Yeah,
there,
he's losing it right here. You can see it. Yep. And he saves it and comes back up the track, and
then he goes back down.
And he gets
in a
stuck
hurry.
at the wall there.
Yeah, I mean that's typical, and unfortunately, like I said, it's a self-cleaning track because of the curves. You're bound to come either up or down. If you overcompensate down below, you'll shoot up like a rocket. And unfortunately, he was in the middle when Ed showed up.
Nate Trito up to 8th spot. And that
Trito
caution
up to the
helped.
8th spot after starting in the back. Yep.
And that caution definitely helped him. A lot of drivers looked like they were involved in that. They're down the pit road. We got Ed Robertson, Dean Prince, DeBauer, and Grant all looking like they're repairing the vehicles.
Holman was down there too. My guess is whatever little damage he had, he's probably down there fixing that. But he was only 15.1, so either he just did damage and no tires, or but he was definitely in that early one. So
Yeah, from Eric Wineland on back, all those drivers have come down and made pit stops. Everyone else, from Garrett Heath back to Matt Alberson in the 4, Stin in 9th, they have all stayed out.
And based on that, with Wineland, Danny Ware, Jacob Bell, those guys look like they just took fuel.
Yeah, Wineland, Ware, and Bell probably watching the fuel strategy race that ended the Xfinity Series last night. Get the fuel when you can get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still 3 sets of tires in this league, so they would definitely have to, if we're saying 60 laps is what they can get, that'd be 60 to 120 in the finish. That would probably be what we're looking at. And the caution flags will definitely roll us out a little bit more. So these guys might be able to get up to about 70-ish. You know, maybe even 80 if those guys just took fuel. So
yeah, I don't know if that's those guys might be able to stretch it a little farther. But man, I tell you, it's last night watching those guys come off the 4 and the engine's not running, sputtering. A couple other guys just saying they were flat out gone. I guess take advantage of any fuel you can get.
not a bad
Pace car
strategy in
gonna
the
make
back.
left turn onto pit road, gonna get the second restart. Garrett Heath going as soon as that pace car hits pit road, which you can do. Once again, leading to an awkward start, but a big lead for the 23 of Heath. Oh, we got contact. Blair Patterson up the track into the wall. The number 91 car.
Did McClendon jump and go high to the road, or did he do it right at the line?
I'm not too sure. I believe he was already on the outside to begin with.
I thought he was on the inside, came up.
I think the
As you said, it was a
29
wonky
started.
start.
I think the 29 actually started in the second spot up high.
Yeah, he restarted second on the outside.
it just looked odd, as you said. The start looked odd. And,
We do have our Ryan Swan in race control tonight.
Yep, Ryan Swan, race control, race admin for the SimSpeedShop Cup Series. No
he would
caution.
pick it up if there was anything there. That's for sure.
And there's no caution for that incident. We stay green. It's still the 23 of Garrett Heath leading, followed by Scott McClendon, Delonte Ballard. And then fourth and fifth consist of Davey Hendricks and Ryan Honeycutt, although Ryan Hart's looking down to the bottom of Honeycutt to go through turn
Hart's
one.
moving up. His car is moving pretty good through the pack. Trito's now in 10th. So I guess he went back a little, didn't he? He was in 8th before.
Oh, he's moving on back up, passing number 12 of Eric Wineland, looking to make it 3 in a row. So that's going to put Trito up to 9th, and then right in front of those two, it's Matt Alverson and Danny Ware battling for the 7th spot.
Yep, Danny Ware taking the inside route. Tough place to be. Tough place to be when you're diving into some of these things.
That's the 52 of Tyler Holman. He took tires. Or I believe he took tires because
I don't know if he did or if he just came in. He must have. I mean, it was 15.1.
Holman most likely took tires. He was involved in that contact. They could have flat spotted the tires and needed to take it then.
That's true. Because he did slide up that second time around, so that's possible.
That's going to hurt him in the long run, though, but not having any extra tires.
Well, yeah, but he's also on a different fuel strategy, too, so he could stretch it out and maybe get a caution that comes out later on. Kind of helps him out. That's the way it worked last time, so you'll never know what'll happen until run for a while.
All right, as we start to spread it out here, man, you know what I like?
Make it that.
All right, man. I love it loud. Brought to you by Wendigo Studios, man. What else we got going on the racetrack?
Well, we got this battle here between the 12 of Eric Wineland and the 4 of Matt Alverson.
Yep.
That's for the 9th. That's going to put the 12 up to 9th, the 4 back to 10th. Got the 52, Tyler Holman, trying to get a run on the outside. See if he has anything for the 4 of Matt Alverson. Other than that, it's been pretty calm.
Yep. I'll take calm for a little while, but I want some excitement later on. I got to give another award away. AJ will be upset if we don't see one.
It's about half a second gap, now less than that, between Garrett Heath and Scott McClendon for the lead. So you see the 52 of Holman underneath the 4 of Alverson. Alverson's going to get the run and stay in front of the 52 for now.
Pack 56 wants to know what just happened. That was Harold's doing it. I like it loud thing.
I love it loud, man. We all love it loud. If you've not been to a racetrack and hear it in live, in person, in living color, you need to get to a track.
That's it. I think
Holman
might have thrown him off. Whoa.
Wow, close to making contact between Holman and the 4 of Alverson.
Absolutely.
Oh, little jerk there from the 4 of Alverson. That's going to allow the 52 to get underneath him here through turn 4. Not quite, though. He's just going to stay tucked in behind. It's definitely a battle to look out for us. We got a line of cars here. This includes teammate of the 52. That's David Weissart right behind him in the 3, and then our very own Jacob Bell, that white 77 behind him.
McClendon seems to be gaining on Garrett Heath at the front of the field. He's down to 0.2 of a second right now.
Oh, Holman got loose there off turn 4. He saves it. We're still green, but Scott McClendon is indeed closing in on the leader. Meanwhile, a little bit in the back, Delonte Ballard's falling back to 5th. Hart's up to 4th, looking for 3rd from Hendricks, and Honeycutt's up the track.
He's just checking out the high groove. That's all. He sees everything's fine, comes back down.
Waving on to the virtual fans. They're sitting in turns 3 and 4.
That's it. That's it.
Looking throughout the field, everyone's staying calm. Holman's fallen back to 14th after getting loose. There's the 3 of Weishart's passing the 4 of Matt Alverson. That's going to put him in the top 10.
I don't think Tyler's car is working quite the way he wants it to, Hunter.
Wait, Scott McClendon is right there.
Yeah, he's there.
He is right there on the 23 of Garrett Heath. Battle for the lead definitely heating up.
Yeah, he's within the 10th now, so he's definitely climbed that ladder. It's a good view here. And well, you can see why. That back end of Heath is sliding up. He's doing everything he can to hold that where it needs to be.
Oh, Luce is fast. He ran the fastest lap of the race last time by. Scott McClendon. There's the roof cam from the 52. You can see the back end of that 23. Kicked out. Almost kicked him out to the inside wall.
There it goes. McClendon trying to get
McClendon
around. Had to
clipped
go
the wall.
high.
Yep, he's trying to get the lead. He clipped the wall coming into turn 3. Oh, side by side off of 4. McClendon's going to lead the lap. Now here comes the 54 of Hendricks and the 03 of Hartz.
Oh, yeah, it's brought everybody to play now. Here we go.
Delonte Ballard sitting back waiting for something to happen. I mean, I don't blame him. the way that was looking.
Exactly right. That was not pretty for a while.
So put the 29 of Scott
There he
McClendon
goes
for the
again,
lead.
back end,
Garrett
kicking
Heath
off of 4.
still loose. Trying to stay in front of the 54 of Hendricks, who's got the 03 of Hartz. Once again, trying to look underneath them. Close to contact being made, not quite. That 23, the rear end starting to kick out.
You know that?
Oh, yeah. Speaking of fast, don't look now, but Nate Trito,
Yep.
it's that car right behind there. He's in the 6th spot.
And he's coming on in a hurry, too. But all
Comes
of that...
03 of Hartz again.
Yep, Hart's going underneath now of Hendricks.
Oh, contact made. In the middle of 1 and 2, contact was made. The 54 slides up. Everyone keeping it straight for now, but Ballard all over the 2 of Hartz and Hendricks. Which will put Hartz in the 3rd spot now.
Yeah.
And Brian Hart's up to 3rd, Hendricks back to 4th. Ballard still in 5th. There's a battle here with Ryan Honeycutt and Eric Weinlands for the 7th spot.
He cuts been high a couple times in turns 2 and 3. Or 1 and 2, excuse me. There is no 2 and 3. You can't have 2 and 3. 3 and 4. Not bad.
So Weinland's going to pass 67.
I like how you stayed quiet there, Hunter, while I screwed up. I appreciate that. Still battling underneath. Honeycutt on the outside. Can't seem to keep that car down low. Danny Ware's now in this picture.
No, he can't keep the car low, but he is keeping it out of the wall.
That is true.
Which is good for the time being. And Nate Trito's caught up with the rear end of Delonte Ballard. It's the battle for 5th now, heating up. Honeycutt still trying to hold on to whatever he can. There's the 18 of Danny Ware underneath him for 9th. Trito around the 21. Oh, and almost around was the 18 of Danny Ware. So Trito up to the top 5. The 18 almost in the inside wall. Everyone keeping it straight. Still no caution yet. Intense racing here at Dover.
And they're certainly running different speeds now. I mean, they're down in 24. Trito just ran a 23.8 faster of everybody else out there right now other than Ed Robertson.
Yep, Nate Trito was fastest in practice, 2nd quickest in qualifying, but a contingency error in which he doesn't have the proper contingencies for the Araya SimSpeedShop Cup Series. Had to start at the rear of the field, given the EOL race number 5. It's kind of foolish to not have the right contingencies on in the 5th race of the year, but he is making quick work. So he's up in the top 5, and he's hunting on the 54 of Davey Hendricks.
I'm a little shocked on Garrett Heath, how he's held on to 2nd, the way he was sliding around that back end was leaving him. I am really impressed at that he's able to hold on to 2nd like that, especially with Ryan Hartz coming as he has been. So. And it looks like he's closing in on him. He's right on his back, 2/10 off of Garrett Heath right now.
Yeah, Hart's slowly starting to close in more on the 23 of Garrett Heath.
I don't know.
We saw the moves that he'll make. We saw the moves he'll make to move up to 3rd. Imagine what he'll do to get up to 2nd.
Well, I would get up there and push Heath a little bit, make a mistake, kind of go in a little too hot, and see if you can't slide in underneath him. But this is a tough track to do something like that.
coverage of the Orion SimSpeedShop Cup Series at Dover is brought to you by Northern Capital. We would like to give a big thanks to Russ and Steve Anderson of Northern Capital for their support of the Northern Capital Truck Series and from all of us here at Orion, which you guys can tune in Tuesday nights. Not next Tuesday because we have an off week, but the following Tuesday where we run the Northern Capital Truck Series on the Orion Twitch channel. Back up front here, the battle for second still heating up. The 03 of Ryan Arch looking to the inside. Is he going to make a move? No, he chooses better of it.
Yeah, I think he's waiting for the moment. If he's going to do it, I would do it if he can pull it off a 4. A lot of passes happen live at Dover down that front stretch when you're coming off a 4. Really how your car's handling when you pop up off the hill there.
Seems like he's trying to set up the move.
Yep.
Got this bow going on here, and then right behind those two, it's Davey Hendricks trying to hold off the one of Nate Trito.
Oh, really loose that time coming off the 4 back end out there, but Garrett, he seems to hold on to those things. Loose or not, he's handled that car as best he can.
And 03 still trying to peek his nose down to the bottom. Can't really get anything going just yet.
Now, this track, it typically isn't a 2-lane track. I mean, you know, you're either run the bottom coming through and you know, just protect the bottom. It's not always been a multiple lane track.
Yeah, but definitely with the way some drivers are entering through the corner, you can enter a little high, then diamond it down low like the 03 of Hearts.
Yep.
So he's making a move now for second on Garrett Heath. And with ease,
he set that up really
moves up
well.
to second. Brings a 54 in the 1. Close.
A while back, he'd come off the turns and see what he could set up going down the straights. So great move there by Ryan Hartz to move into second place.
And the 54 of Davey Hendricks now all over the back of the 23. It's a little further towards the back. You see Delonte Ballard and David Weishart close on the bow for P6. Now it's a 4-car train trying to catch the 1 car leading of Scott McClendon in the 29.
That is a good example of when you go to try to pass somebody, how quickly those other ones can pull back in. This isn't a track that lends to, you know, when you're running like that and all of a sudden you're battling on a track that's hard, that just pulls everybody back to you. So those 2 guys there, Hendricks and Trito, got pulled in just from the battle alone.
Oh, Garrett Heath clipping a little bit of that apron. Yep. I'll upset the car a little bit. That brings the 54 of Davey Hendricks closer to him.
Some of these guys fighting a little ill handle right now. Mr. Honeycutt's dropped back to 12. I know he was having a problem there earlier on. Hallman's back there in 14th, so those guys are probably hoping for a chance to throw on some new tires, although Mr. Hallman's already done that. Some of these guys are probably hoping for something like that.
Reinhardt slowly starting to drive away from the pack. The last time by, he ran about 1/10 quicker than the leader of Scott McClendon.
And amazingly, Garrett Heath's he's running the same speed as Scott McClendon, so Hart's put down a 24 flat almost that time around.
Yep, slowly running laps better than the leader, Scott McClendon, is Ryan Hartz. McClendon, a 24.032. Ryan Hartz, a 24.005. There you see, that's the number 29. Really haven't talked much about Scott McClendon all this year because of the dominance VRA has with winning. They've won all 4 races, and their drivers are currently running 4th with Davey Hendricks, and then back in 8th for Eric Wineland. No Cameron Hearn tonight.
No Cameron Hearn, and you know, it's a lot going on there, so we'll just leave that alone. But McClendon does look good out front. He's driving a good race. He's been hitting his marks, but Ryan Hart seems to have quite a machine underneath him as he keeps on reeling him in.
Yes, it's opened up Scott McClendon to lead here at Dover, with Ryan Hart's now half a second behind. And Garrett Heath still hanging on the third, pulling off the 54 of Davey Hendricks, who's got the one of Nate Trito all over the bumper.
Yeah, it looked like they fell back. Now you see Trito underneath there, and he's bringing Weishart with him. So Hendricks is under the gun from 2 of them right now.
Yep, Trito looking to complete the pass on Davey Hendricks there, coming out of 2. He will do it. And Weishart looked like he's completing the pass also.
Yeah,
so
he was coming right with him.
Yep, and we got cars on pit road. You saw the 56 there, Christian DeBoer. He's on the pit lane. A little early to be making pit stops. Or actually, I shouldn't say too early. Some of these guys have yet to pit. Yeah. Whoa, Scott McClendon nearly clipping the wall there coming out of turn 2. That's going to allow the 03 to close in quite a bit here.
I think these guys are going to, I think these guys are going to need tires just because of the way they're driving. They seem to be, the cars seem to be going away pretty quick on it.
Yeah, we saw in qualifying these guys were running about 22 O's to 22 3s. They're now running in 24 1s and 24 2s. So almost 2 seconds difference between some of these guys who put down their qualifying lap.
And you expect that you're on a concrete track. Yeah, it's going to chew it up. Dover's an older track. That's going to have a play in it as well. I would imagine.
Garrett Heath just went out on the pit road.
Close.
Garrett Heath went down the pit road, and Nate Trito now up to 3rd, passing the 54. Or now, he just fell back to 5th. Something must have happened in the back. Might be Trito.
The first one on 43, so Weishart in 5th. He can go a little farther. Jacob Bell can go a little farther. Eric Wyman and Danny Ware, all of those guys in the middle there.
Yep, including Garrett Grant. They can also go a little bit farther.
Yep. Didn't see him there. I apologize, Garrett.
Battle for the lead, though, heating up. The 03 has caught up to the back bumper of Scott McClendon. And it's just a matter of time before we see the pass. There's, I believe that is Garrett Heath coming out of pit road.
Trito coming down.
Yep, Nate Trito, Delonte Ballard coming down pit road. Looks like the 03 is going to be making a pit stop. So he was slow there through turn 3. And
if this is pretty much strategy, you're 55, 110, and then in the finish. So some of these guys, that's their strategy. They break this up into thirds, so they'll have a set of tires at the end.
And some of those guys early on took that fuel early, so they can run a few more laps, about 10 in difference. So you see coming 29, missed it.
Oh, no, he missed it. He missed the pit lane. Scott McClendon missed pit road. That's going to put the 3 of Weishart in the lead, but he was underneath the orange box.
That is going to put a hurting on him.
Ken, we talked about this earlier on. Transitioning from the banking on to pit road would be a challenge for some of these guys, and it's still proven to be a challenge for Scott McClendon.
Absolutely. It's a hard come off that heavy banking. You know you're carrying speed, and it just makes it tough.
Man, that is a rough, tough blow for the 29 of Scott McClendon. There you see, there's the advantage of new tires on the 67 of Honeycutt compared to the old tires of the 3 of David Weishart. McClendon now on pit road along with the 52 of Tyler Holman. Now here comes the 3 of Weishart, and he misses it. And he ran over the orange box, so pit road proving to be a challenge for some of these guys trying to slow down and get onto pit road. There's the 12 of Wineland. He just took the lead from the 3 of Weishart. So he failed to make it onto pit road. Now will the 12 of Wineland have trouble getting onto pit road? The last two people who've had trouble, they were leading. So the 12 is going to stay out. He can go a few more laps.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Weishart now making it onto pit road along with the 5 of Garrett Grant teammates.
There you see the 29 finally coming out, Scott McClendon.
McClendon showing up 2 laps down. So he can pass the 12 of Wineland here. He will be 1 lap down.
When Wineland goes in, he should be fine, right?
Should be. Fingers crossed with the way these guys are getting on the pit road. But there you see once again the advantage of the newer tires on Scott McClendon compared to the older tires of Eric Wineland. Wineland going on 53 laps with those tires, and McClendon turning his first laps on those tires. So here's the 12. Looks like he's going to be
turning
making his
down
pit
now.
stop now. And there you go. That's how you do it.
Yep, that's smooth.
Yeah, smooth indeed. That's going to put the 18 of Danny Ware into the lead. Danny Ware,
And
you can go a
Jacob
few
Bell,
more
I think,
laps.
is still out there, right?
Yep, Danny Ware and Jacob Bell, they pitted under that caution along with the 12 of Weiland, who is on pit road now. Those guys can go a few more laps if they choose to.
No, I mean, how much damage can you do while you're out there at this point? If you know that you can do at least, 10 laps, I would take a shot at it because you never know what a lap looks like.
It's going to be a close battle here for the lead, I believe. Look at the scoring. Take a look. 12 of Weiland still on pit road. He's now coming off pit road. 18 of Danny Ware coming on the pit road. That's going to put the 77 of Jacob Bell into the lead. It's a bit of a role reversal there you see with lap cars and the leader. Yep, the leader moving out of the way of the lap cars, something you rarely see.
He doesn't really have a choice in this matter because they're coming in a hurry.
So when all things cycle through, the 23 of Garrett Heath should be your leader. That's going to put the 03 of Reinhardt second, Davey Hendricks third, Ryan Honeycutt fourth, and Delonte Ballard fifth once things cycle through.
So not a lot of change there, but
yeah, looks like Ryan Hartz is back 3.5 seconds from the 23 of Garrett Heath.
wow. Pretty big gap. How'd that happen?
Different pit stops. So Garrett Heath's going on 11 laps, and Ryan Hartz is going on 9.
9, yeah, I see it now. I had to catch up, I apologize.
Should be expecting the 77 to make a pit stop at any moment. Although I would assume he'd do it without drivers all over his rear bumper to avoid any further calamity.
I agree. And Hendricks is right there on the back of Hartz. He's not
that's
away.
That's actually going to be the battle for second once things cycle through. So the 54 closing in on the 03 of Hartz as they pass the leader of Jacob Bell to get back on the lead lap. Jacob Bell's still going. He's going to be approaching 60 laps here on his. Whoa! Honeycutt got loose there off turn 4. It's going to put the 21 of Delonte Ballard in front of him. So that'll be 4th and 5th when the 77 comes on pit road.
Honeycutt's at least going to know every inch of this track, by the way, by the time the race is over, that's for sure. Because he's been everywhere so far. There's a back end leaving him again, so he's got his hands full.
We saw Honeycutt say in the chat as 77 looking really slow there. Saw Honeycutt put in the chat that he would expect around 65-ish laps of fuel.
Yeah, saw that, yeah.
And Jake is approaching the 65 lap mark of fuel. But you gotta think, the longer he stays out, the more it's gonna hurt the 77. I mean, he's gonna have the freshest set of tires, but at what cost? He could go 2 laps, maybe 3 laps down.
Yeah, I tell you, it's he's really stretching it out a lot farther than I expected.
Yep, this will be 64 laps. He's letting the 5 go by. He's letting the Honeycutt machine go by.
Does Jacob Bell have a strategy that we don't know about? I don't know.
There he is.
Yeah, he made it. Nice
Down
job.
pit road right now. So marking it down. 64 laps for the 77 of Jacob Bell. So that's the furthest we've seen anyone go tonight, and that could be a factor later on. All right, back up front, this is your leader, the 23 of Garrett Heath, and Ryan Hartz has closed the gap to about 1.2 seconds.
Yeah.
Still with the 54 of Davey Hendricks all over his bumpers you see in the back.
Yeah, those two cars are running pretty much same lap after lap. Garrett Heath, however, he's battling traffic, which means he's running in the 23.8s, where the other guys behind him are 23.2 and 23.3. So, trying to get through traffic here is a tough thing to do.
See, that's the 91 of Blair Patterson right behind the leader and right in front of the 03 of Ryan Hartz and the 54 of Davey Hendricks. They have caught the leader quite a bit.
And they're coming in a hurry.
Yeah, here the 03 is here right now.
Yep.
Garrett Heath got the lap car of Matt Alverson in front of him. Ryan Hart's closing in. He does have fresher tires. Then 23 slides up the track, battle for the lead as they come across the front stretch and down into turn 1. New leader put the 03 of Hartz into the lead. Here comes the 54 of Hendricks for second.
I would say no way he could come back down.
Oh, he gets third!
The slow car on the inside, he had nowhere to go. Oh,
Blair Patterson making contact with the 23 of Garrett Heath. It looks like they saved it.
That's crazy.
Garrett Heath still on track, still going. The 91 of Blair Patterson still going. But man, oh man, I almost saw that coming immediately as soon as I saw the 54 making his move.
Yep, absolutely.
Because the Garrett Heath was trying to get down in line, and now he's battling Delonte Ballard for third, in which Delonte stays tucked in. He's going to allow Garrett Heath to be in front of him for the time being. And there you see the 03.
Yeah, Delonte's only 2 laps less on tires, so they should be equal as far as car goes.
Got Robertson back on the track, 6 laps down. He's going to keep it outside. Tight racing here between the 4 of Matt Alverson and the 03 of Ryan Hartz. Alverson into the wall. He was trying to stay on the lead lap there, but he ends up smacking the wall coming out of turn 4. And now the 54 of Davey Hendricks having trouble getting past him.
Hartz might be able to pull away here if Hendricks keeps having trouble getting through the traffic. Hartz might be able to pull away here.
Well, oh my goodness, we're gonna go ahead and try to get through our halfway rundown presented by Swift Lifestyles. Fans, be sure to visit our sponsor, Swift Lifestyles, for clean supplements that help improve your focus in gaming. Use discount code AREA iRacing. That's AREA iRacing for 15% off your entire order. I'd like to give a big thanks to Swift Lifestyles for their support of the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series. Now with the rundown, Ryan Hartz has a top 5 car. He took the lead. Not much else to say as there's chaos that was ensuing behind him, which involved the 54 of Davey Hendricks. He didn't let Garrett Heath down in line, and that caused Heath to fall to the back. But Davey Hendricks has had a top 5 car also. He's up to second now, and he's about 1 second back from the leader of Ryan Hartz. Other than that, nothing else to report on the 54.
Delonte Ballard's in the 3rd spot. Got the Eric Wineland in the 12 going underneath. Let's move Eric Wineland to the 3rd, Delonte to the 4th. Eric Wineland on a roll right now and running some pretty decent laps as well.
Yeah, Wineland trying to go for 3 in a row. So he's won the last 2 races. That was Delonte Ballard. Now we move to David Weishart, who's not too far behind these guys. David's had a strong season. He's running in the 5th spot right now, when he's looking to capitalize, passing the 2 cars in front of him. And right behind him, driver who's led the most laps tonight, Scott McClendon, had that issue trying to get on the pit road along with David Weishart, both of which have recovered, and they're not too far behind. They are running 5th and 6th on the track right now, but Scott McClendon looking to improve his second half of the race.
Weishart, you see moving underneath there on Delonte Ballard before we drop back there to Mr. McClendon. He's riding in there. Again, 30 laps led. That's pretty good. Garrett Heath in the 23. Did he just tap the wall there in 7th place? Got the damage from the
he might have.
thing. Yeah.
Garrett Heath actually led the most laps. There's Ryan Huncutt in the 67 car. He's had a loose car. He's been running to the outside, gotten loose a little bit, trying to hold on to it, see if he makes any adjustments in the second half of this race.
It's Tyler Holman in the 52, the good-looking Northern Capital car there. He's just had a weird run today. Got caught up something early, but he's fought back, doing pretty good there, running in 9th.
And then running in the 10th spot, Danny Ware led a couple of laps, got loose quite a bit of times. Feeling that's a theme as we go throughout the field, presented by Swift Lifestyles. And there again, we see it. 67, if Honeycutt got loose there, might have clipped the wall coming out of turn 2, but holds on to it.
Yeah, he's just been all over the place. It's you can definitely tell it's a track that's forcing him to drive in places he didn't want to be. And this is a track that unless you hit your marks every time, it will sneak up on you.
03 of Hearts continuing to lead. He's got about 1.3 second gap between him and the 54 of Davey Hendricks. Who's got a comfortable gap between him and Eric Wine?
Yeah, and he still seems to be running the same times consistently. McClendon's running some quick laps too right now.
Oh, Weishart just moved past the 12 of Wineland for the 3rd spot. I think the two might still be going at it. Yep, Weishart and Wineland still going at it for the 3rd spot.
Trying to take 3rd from him because Wineland got around Ballard, started moving towards Weishart.
No, Weishart just took the spot from Wineland. He's driving away from him now.
You got a crystal ball or something. You can see more than I can.
Oh no, my scoring was frozen in a lap 86, and it showed the 12 in front of the 3.
I got you.
That's how I.
That's how you knew. Fair enough.
Yep. Eyes in the sky, always looking.
That's it. Now these two up front are about even as far as what they're running, 23.95 and the 23.97. So you're not going to see a whole lot of gap change there as far as timing wise.
As we look throughout the lap times, we noticed that Jacob Bell's in 11th. He was the last car to come down pit road. We questioned if he was playing this right with strategy. He stayed out for about 64 laps, the longest that we've seen anyone go. He's still on the lead lap. He's got the freshest set of tires than anyone by a long margin. The leader right now, Ryan Hart's 36 laps. Cut that in half with Jacob Bell. Actually, yeah, cut that in half. I was right. 18 laps for Jacob Bell. And if this thing goes green to the end, we could see the 77 in victory lane.
I mean, it'd be nice to interview the boss. We haven't done it yet. I'd like to see that. Absolutely.
Well, got about, I'd say less than 70 to go. Going to be about 66 when they come across the line.
We got two guys.
Honeycutt's on pit road.
Mr. Nate Trito and Dean Prince, they're both out of the race, so we're down to 16 cars on the lap car on the track. Couple cars one lap down. Mr. Honeycutt, I think, just cut off into the pit lane.
Yeah, Honeycutt's down pit road.
Yep. But he's going to go down at least one, if not two, because there goes the leader now. Let's say he just cut off.
Yeah, it looks like he disconnected.
Yep.
So Honeycutt putting it into pit road and in the garage, done for the night. That's good news for Ed Robertson. That means he'll move up another spot. Right. She'll put him at 15th. But yeah, Nate Trito, not really sure what happened to Nate Trito. He pitted, he came down pit road about 36 laps ago. That'd be around lap 60. Not really sure what happened to the one of Trito. Saw him fall from 3rd to 5th. Not sure if that had anything to do with it. But man, Trito had a fast car. First in practice, 2nd in qualifying, then got sent to the rear for contingency issues. Then he drove his way all the way up to 3rd. And not really sure what happened after that.
Engine issue, Hunter, possibly.
Could be an engine issue. We have seen some engine issues throughout the week here at Dover. Could be engine issue, could be a connection issue on his part.
Could be connection, that's true. That does happen. I tend to forget that we're talking about computers here, and that certainly will cause all kinds of chaos.
Yep, speaking of chaos, 5th spot is up for grabs between Delonte Ballard and Scott McClendon. McClendon has caught the 21 car.
Yeah, McClendon's
He's trying to work his way around.
The leader
and now
are the only 2 in 23, running 23s right now.
Yep, McClendon just passed the 21 of Delonte Ballard there for the 5th spot. Now McClendon has his eye set on Wineland. McClendon back in the top 5 for the first time since his misfortune of missing pit road.
Yeah, yeah. So at least he knows this. He knows he's got a great car. He's been driving up front quite a while. So we know he's got a fast car, but he can't afford to do that pit lane issue again, that's for sure.
All right, well, we're inside 60 laps to go now. Harold, so far, your thoughts on today's race?
Well, I don't know if it's the number of cars or the caliber of driver, but we seem to be having longer green flag runs, and that's working to the advantage of the 77.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly didn't expect a long green flag run, but we got it, and we could see another set of green flag pit stops here in just a moment. Some of these drivers, including our leader, Ryan Hart's nearing 40-plus laps, Hart's being at 45 on his run, so we could see pit stops within the next 10 to 15 laps, if anyone decides to stretch it to 60 and beyond. They'll be at around, let's see, 15 laps. They'll be around lap 117. So expect lap 110 to see some guys coming down pit road for what could be their final stop of the race.
It should be final. Pit stops coming up within the next 10 laps. It'll get the guys under 50 laps to go. They'll get their tire and pack it full of fuel.
Yeah, the only one showing not that doesn't have any. I don't know if this is Ed Robertson, if he has a set left or not, but everybody's got at least one left that's who's running on the lead lap. So tires aren't going to be an issue. It's more about fuel and working that out. And Jacob Bell is running there in the 10th spot. He's, almost 20
He's got
laps.
2.
Yeah.
Man, Jake's got 2 sets. He went the furthest further than anyone on pit stops. He went 64 laps. So he's got 2 sets, and if a late yellow comes out, he could take those new sets of tires.
It's going to work out well.
Good rocket to the front, because I mean we've seen in the transition or green flag pit stops the drivers who stay out, they're like a rock standing still, and then it's just a snail passing them. No, that's a weird analogy to prove, but just shows that the driver with fresher tires faster than the driver with older tires.
No, they blow the doors off them. It's amazing. Looks like Scott McClendon's right on the backside of Eric Wineland right now too. He's reeled him in as well.
Yep, Wineland currently running 4th, trying to go for 3 in a row. McClendon slowly starting to reel him in. He ran about a 10th quicker that last lap by. The 56 of the Boar is on pit road. Interesting to see. He was one of the earlier takers in, and now the 23 of Garrett Heath on the pit road.
Now Heath was, that makes sense because he was on a different run too. So
Garrett Heath went 51 laps on that run. Plus he'd had a little bit of contact between the 91 of Blair Patterson. And also want to report that the 4 of Matt Alverson has pulled it into the garage. He is done for the night. So board cars out of the running, 14 still running, and 9 of those are on the lead lap.
Getting darkened over. Look at that, we're at twilight right now.
Might have to turn on the infield lights.
That's right, turn on the horse track lights. So that stabilized a little bit there between Weishart or Wineland and McClendon there. They seem to be running the same now.
Looking through our lap times, though, 3 and the 3 are the only ones that I see. Well, scratch that. The 54 of Davey Hendricks just went down pit road, but I was going to touch up on that previous lap. The 3 and the 3 ran similar lap times and were quicker than anyone else on the track, including the 77 of Jacob Bell, who's got 18 lap fresher tires than our leader.
I'm not so sure Mr. Jacob Bell ain't playing a little possum right now. No need to push anything.
Oh, now the 03 of Hart's on the pit road. That's going to put the 3 of Weishart into the lead. And look at what lap it is. Lap 110.
Yep, and there you see the car diving down. He's got fresher tires. That just demonstrates what you were talking about. If we get a late caution, Jacob Bell's going to look like that when he goes to take the lead.
It's like the Boar is racing on rookie mode, just passing all these guys left to right, along with Garrett Heath, also on rookie mode. That's just, the 3 of Weishart nearly clipping the wall there coming out of turn 4. That just shows how important the fresh tires are.
Oh, absolutely. And these guys now at 49, 50 laps, they're feeling that back end slide all over the place right now.
Yep, and fuel shouldn't be a question at this point. If anyone pits from now on, they are good on fuel. Just depends on if we get a late race yellow, how many of those drivers saved a set of tires. I know Jacob Bell at least has one. Eric Wineland's down pit road now.
That's an early one for Eric. There you see the three diving off there. Dave Weishart going down.
Weishart on the pit road. Yep.
Oh! In.
I was just about to say much smoother this time, and then he does that.
Yeah.
Little skirt down pit road. Danny Ware's also on pit road too. So that's going to put the 29 of Scott McClendon back into the lead. McClendon was running up front before green flag pit stops, and then he missed pit road coming down. Good bit of guys coming down pit road now. Delonte Ballard, Tyler Holman are in.
Interesting. I just, you know, Jacob Bell sitting at 40 on the stint, and then 54 on McClendon, and it, you know, Jacob Bell doesn't have to be in a hurry to come down.
Yep, Garrett Grant staying out, Blair Patterson staying out for the moment. Everyone else has made their pit stop or are currently making their pit stops.
I would think that McClendon is going to probably run one or two more, and then you got to assume it's time for him to win.
Well, now we're in the run where if this thing goes green to the end, and it's looking like it might go green to the end, the longer you stay out, the fresher your tires will be towards the end of the run. Something to keep in mind. Right now, only three drivers on the lead lap.
It's all about balancing the scale. How much time are you losing now versus how much you're going to be able to gain later?
That is absolutely true. Now Garrett Grant on the pit road, so that leaves two drivers who have yet to pit. Those being the leader, Scott McClendon, and then second place driver, Jacob Bell.
Jacob's running 24.2s, so it's not like he's terrible right now.
No, and he's only on 41 laps in this run, and if he stretches it another 20 laps or so, we're looking at around close to lap 140 for Jake to make his pit stop. Almost might be too late at that point. Now McClendon spinning.
He's not gonna make it. He's going to hit something.
No.
Oh,
wow. Yeah, Scott McClendon there. Another wonky entry. This time he gets it on the pit road.
Yep.
That was a close call there.
Wow.
I think the first time around he got PTSD from it. Oh man.
Yeah. It looks shook a wee bit too much.
Indeed it did. That puts the 77 of Jacob Bell into the lead. Now it's going to put Ryan Hart and Davey Hendricks.
Jacob took every inch of the track coming off of 4 the last time around, so let's see how he does coming around this time.
It's going to put the 03 and the 54 on the lead lap. There you see Jake loose there on corner exit, moving out of the way of the 3 of Weishart. That's going to put him back on the lead lap, and to his outside is Garrett Heath. That'll put him back on the lead lap. No trouble there that time getting by lap traffic. Blair Patterson is also down pit road.
Comes into play about the difference. I mean, right now Ryan Hart's 12 seconds now, and you just watch the timer just click away. Hart's in just reeling Jacob in. But I mean, if I'm Jacob, I'm going to run it as far as I can. Probably get it down to that 6-second mark and see, you know, and then go in, because he's got still plenty of time to go in.
Absolutely. And we're looking at the lap times that Hartz is running compared to the 77 of the Jacob Bell. Hartz is running lap times almost 2 seconds quicker than our leader, Jacob Bell. That time around, Jake ran a 24.335, and then, well, we got to wait to see when the 03 of Hartz comes around. He's now running low 23s. Yep, 23.071. So around the second lap quicker than our leader, Jacob Bell. Now, here's the way I see this. I think Jake pits around lap 130. I don't think he goes all the way. He's got to make it about 7 more laps or so before he pits at what I think he'll pit on lap 130. And then what we've seen with the lap times, the difference in lap times. You know,
He could be he could be looking at the Larry McReynolds thing and saying there's going to be another caution flag. And if I can stay out front here and not go down a lap, I've done a great job of staying in the hunt.
Yep, that was also in the back of my mind.
I don't know that the caution's going to be the fearful thing here right now, and I just think if I'm like Hunter, if I'm Jacob Bell, I'll take it on. They tapped the little wall up there. If I'm Jacob Bell, I'm running it till 55 laps, 54 on my stint, and then taking the tires and just reeling people in.
There's Delonte Ballard to the inside of Jacob Bell. He's back on the lead lap. The 12 of Eric Wineland. Yep, he's back on the lead lap too.
See, those guys aren't the one he's got to worry about. It's the Hart machine. Now he's 6 seconds, 6.5. I mean, now I think you got to think to yourself, okay, how long is it going to take me to get in, get pitted, and get back out again? You know.
Staying on the track.
Yep.
Going to 53 laps now in this run.
He's got strategy in his mind. He does. He's got strategy.
You see that's the 5 of Garrett Grant and then the 23 of Scott McClendon closing in. Garrett Grant will be 1 lap down when he passes the 77. Oh, not before the 29 passes him. Yep. So Scott McClendon now back on the lead lap. Garrett Grant's going to be 1 lap down, passing the 77.
So if caution comes out, Mr. Grant's in good position then too.
And the next car behind Jacob Bell is Danny Ware in the 18. He will be back on the lead lap.
The Harts is now under 4 seconds behind. Jacob's clearly got something in his mind strategy-wise. It's just a matter of what.
Yeah, Davey Hendricks also closing in on the back of the 03, so this could turn into a battle for the win at some point. Hart's now under 3 seconds from the leader. Davey Hendricks looking to get under 3 seconds.
Same tire strategy, so.
Yep.
All right, now if I'm Jake Bell, they're at 2.5 seconds now. I think it's time. I can see him in my rear view at this point. It's time to dive in, get those new tires, and go do something. But I think he stayed out, didn't he? He did.
Yeah, Jacob Bell stayed out yet again for another lap, and it's around lap 130. So, well, 131. So there goes my strategy of pitting at lap 130.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. But I mean, he's got to know they're coming. He's got to feel it. Like he can almost sense it's happening. Because it isn't a fuel game any longer.
Nope.
It could just be a matter of Jake didn't have the car to begin with, and he's just staying out as long as he can.
Yeah, he tried something different to offset the run. Davey Hendricks struggling to stay in front of the 52 of Tyler Holman. Holman
a lap down.
Yeah, and he's past the 54, so that's interesting. Now here comes the 03 of Hearts. This is going to be the battle for the lead here. Not much of a battle.
I won't be much.
Inside and around the 77 goes the 03 of Ryan Hartz. He will be in the lead. Now with less than 30 to go.
Question here is, can Tyler Holman catch up and get around? I mean, he's moving right now.
Jake staying to the outside there. Staying to the outside of the 54.
My guess is he comes in now. If I'm Jake, I don't know. Jake's on something altogether different.
Nope, Jacob Bell down pit road this time.
Yeah.
So he's going to be at a much more advantage tire-wise than our leaders. So Ryan Hart's now increased his lead to about 1.5 seconds between him and Davey Hendricks. And Jake going to go a lap down. That's going to leave 8 cars on the lead lap.
We assume once Jake hits the track and floors it, you should be able to make some ground up.
Snow on pit road. He might be 2 laps down. Yeah, Jake's going to come out 2 laps down. There he is on the apron, although he will be able to pass the leader with ease on those newer tires. 27 lap advantage Jake has on the tires. Hart's now pulling out
saving as a caution at this point.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it. We only got 14 drivers on the track. 8 of which on the lead lap. Not really going to be much of a fuel run.
No.
They'll be close to 50 laps when they get to the end of this. If this thing goes green to the end. It's all Ryan Hart.
Jake coming.
Yeah, 54, Davey Hendricks has fallen off a cliff.
He sure has.
And the 77 of Jacob Bell has climbed a cliff with those newer tires that he's on. You say he's ripping the top.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's confident.
Jacob Bell.
He can go by him and not even worry about it.
Yep, back to 1 lap down. Caution were to come out. The 52 of Tyler Holman will be on the free pass.
Right. Jake's got to go back around and catch Holman.
Ed Robertson there, pulling on the pit road. He was on 63 laps, so he's coming in for fuel and possibly his final set of tires.
It was a smart move by him. I mean, he picked up several spots just by staying on the track and driving. Every point counts. That's what they say, right?
Yep. We are inside 20 to go of tonight's running of the War Against the Monster 160 here at Dover. Coverage of which for the final 20 laps presented by SimSpeedShop. We would like to give a big thanks to SimSpeedShop for their support of the SimSpeedShop Cup Series this season in Orion. Racers can visit their website at www.simspeedshop.com to find multiple items to complete their virtual racing subs, such as button boxes, wheels, racing gear, and more. That is www.simspeedshop.com. So less than 20 laps to go in tonight's War Against the Monster 160, which Ryan Hart's currently leading. Got about a 2.3 second gap between him and second place driver Davey Hendricks. David Weishart running 3rd right now, Eric Wineland 4th, and Scott McClendon rounding out your top 5.
Big gap between 1st and 5th. If you look, I mean, 1st and 4th. Look at the time. The pits have really stretched this group out.
Yep.
Pulled up the number.
Pit stops.
I pulled the number 3 up here. Look at him. He's in the 3rd spot, but you know he's been bit by some of these strategies before. He's got a fast car. He did really good last night. Took 3rd last night, but look at him. He's going to be trying to catch up to Hendricks and then moving on to Hart's.
Yeah, I think if he can get past Hendricks, I don't think he's going to catch Hart. Although, I mean, he's got a couple of laps less tires, 5 lap difference in the tires. I think getting around Hendricks would be quite the thing for him right now. But this doesn't come down to fuel tonight. This is all about pitting and green flags. And Robertson, well, he's got good tires, so he's going to blow by these guys. There you go. Moves out of the way. And Jacob's still running 23.258. That's well faster than most of the people that are on the track. So I would assume that he's probably ripping around the track right now pretty quick too. But he's still a lap down, and he's got to find Tyler Holman before if we have a caution.
Yep, that is if we have a caution. A caution could come out at any moment and change the complexion of this entire race. Looking back now, Jacob Bell's in the top 10. He's 12 seconds back from Tyler Holman, though. So if a yellow were to come out, Holman would get the free pass, and Jake would be stuck 1 lap down.
But
I think Jake would actually get the free pass, but that would have because everybody else would be coming down for tires.
I was gonna say, can he do the wave around?
He can get a wave around, but then he wouldn't be able to get tires.
But he not. Well, I hear that. I hear you. But his tires should be fresh enough that if he was out in front, I mean, maybe I don't know. That's a good point, Harold. But
Battle for second starting to heat up. Weishart slowly closing in once again on second place driver Davey Hendricks. We're approaching 10 laps to
You
go.
don't want to be down there.
No, you don't. 54 of Hendricks holding on. Hendricks trying to keep the winning streak going for VRA.
And there comes the yellow.
Oh boy, the caution has come out. Yeah, smoke all over the backstretch here. We'll have to take a look at our one-to-go replay here to see what happened. Looks like it might have been the 77 of Jacob Bell.
Really? Oh no.
So Jacob Bell tried staying out.
That came up. Wyman there.
Clipped the apron there and then just... Oh no, Wyland hit the wall and then came down. Wow. That is huge. That is huge for both the 77 and the 12. Wyland was trying to make it 3 in a row. Won the previous 2 races, and doesn't look like the drive for 3 will continue much further. This is this is going to be an interesting one here, folks. 10 laps to go. Our third caution of the night. It's going to put the 03 of Reinhardt's in the pit road, along with Davey Hendricks, David Weishart, Scott Flynn, and Delonte Ballard.
Hunter, what this sets up too is Hendricks is really fast on a short run. So
Oh, yeah.
if he can get that jump, can he get around and pull away? Hart's is longer run, but Hendricks is quick and short. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that just the thought that came into my head that's how those guys are running.
Do we see drivers take 2 here? So we'll have to take a look and see what happens in the battle off pit road. So right now the leaderboard switching back and forth. Don't know if anyone's going to take 2 or 4. It looks like they're all taking 4. So Reinhardt's going to come out, your leader. Davey Hendricks. Oh. No, Tyler Holman. Tyler Holman scored as leader. He was the free pass. Might have been the strategy call from the 52.
Yeah, Holman got the free pass, so he'll be EOL.
Oh, EOL. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's still Hart, Hendricks, and Weishart.
Here come the rest of the drivers making their pit stops. And yes, it will be Hart's, Hendricks. Then it'll be Weishart, McClendon, and Delonte Ballard, your top 5.
If Jacob Bell stays out, why would that damage not come down in?
He's trying to stay on the lead lap.
Trying to salvage a run.
Because he can get around, but so will the 56 will DeBauer go with him. Garrett
Looks
Grant
like they're gonna
is being scored in the tail end of the lead lap here.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna take wave around too.
So Jacob will actually be a lap down even with the wave around because Garrett Grant is the wave around car.
Yep.
As well. So the 03 is your race leader. You see him there with the 54, that Skittles machine. They'll be the ones lining up behind the pace car when the caution lights go off.
Yep, all the cars in front of those guys taking a wave around. They'll go around and then they'll cycle to the rear of the pack.
You know who this helps out more? That Mr. McClendon is now back in this race. Even after the early mistake, this gives Scott McClendon a chance to go back to what he did in the beginning of the race. And, you know, is his car still as fast as it was back then?
Yeah, but look at that number 3 car, Mr. Weishart. He has a mission.
Oh, I know what his
New
mission
tires, and coming off a third last night, that he is going to be a man possessed to get to that checkered flag. We'll be under 5 laps to go when we catch the green here, or we'll be right at 5 laps.
I will be upset I will be upset if my prediction goes wrong. I'm just saying. I've been quiet the whole time, and if he ruins that, I don't know what I'm going to say in the interview. I'm going to be upset.
Well, I think this is interesting. Ryan Hart's took the outside. All night we've been seeing drivers taking the bottom because then the outside lane gets a little checkup-ish there.
Oh.
So this will be interesting to look at.
But he does get he gets to start the gun. So
Absolutely.
once he gets across that start finish line, he can drop to the bottom. So he may be wanting to get in front, stack the 54 and the 3 and not worry about the 29. That could be his thought process.
Well, only time will tell. Pace car is going to make that hard left turn on the pit road. The 03 can go at any moment. Ryan Hart's your leader, and he goes as soon as that pace car goes on the pit road.
Stack up on the low line.
No,
Yeah, that's stacked up.
Good at all.
No, the inside did not go at all, and that's what you alluded to, Harold. And now the 03 is setting sail.
Oh,
And
contact!
now we're second. McClellan gets turned by Hendricks into the wall. Caution's going to come out, and we're going to have a green-white checker.
Wow.
Garrett Heath was able to get around the group. We'll see how it sorts out. 'Cause I thought Weishart was ahead of some of these guys when the caution flew, but we'll see how that goes.
I can't imagine Mr. McClendon's very happy right about
No, absolutely not. With the night he's had, he was in the lead at one point, tried to get on the pit road during green flag pit stops,
Wow.
missed it, and then to come back into the top 5 only for this to happen. So it all goes to this restart here. So the 03 of Ryan Hart's restart on the outside, had a big run, essentially left the bottom checked up, and then going into turn 1 there, the 54 and the 29 were battling close.
Over the
There you
4
see the
wiggles.
54.
Yeah,
He just got loose, and into the wall went the 29 of McClendon.
I mean, nothing intentional. Speed from
No.
above, the car just gets loose. But man, that sucks for, Again, he's had a great run, 29 car all night long, and to get taken like that. That's
Wow,
tough.
David Weishart, if this actually sits right, I don't understand the looping there because he was well past the wreck, and these guys, the 54 and the 23, rode through it. So look at all these guys that jumped in front of the 3 before the caution came. I don't
No,
understand.
he was falling back. He was falling back, Harold. When the start went, he got pushed back from the very beginning because Hendricks didn't go, and Weishart was down on the bottom line.
Yeah,
That's how he ended up back there.
the
Yeah.
inside line was stacked up quite
That
a
really
bit.
really hurt him pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tore him up. That's bad for him. Let's
So
get
this will-
another crack at it.
Yeah, this will set us up for one more restart. It will be a green-white checker, and only get one attempt at a green-white checkered. And the next flag after that, whether it be the caution flag or the checkered flag, it will end the race.
So if the yellow flag comes out before the white flag, it will freeze the field, and that's it. If the white flag flies and a caution comes out, we will go racing to the end. That's how iRacing has it set up.
Works for me.
So we saw the 03 of Hearts take the outside, and now Mumbo Jumbo got the bottom. Does he take the top again?
I would if you can get that kind of a jump like that.
Boy, this is going to be a very, very crucial restart. So a lot on the line here. Ryan Hart's won Tuesday night in the Northern Capital Truck Series at Dover. Looking to add a cup win to that as we head into the off week. The 54 of Davey Hendricks looking to keep a winning streak going for VRA. They've won all 4 races so far in the SimSpeedShop Cup Series. He's looking to make it 5 in a row. Then right behind him, Garrett Heath. He's looking to break through, get that first win of the season. Delance Bowden with a strong run in the top 5, looking to cap off a potentially season best finish.
Yeah.
Then in the back, David Weishart had a bad restart that last time by, and he's looking to get another chance at cracking a few more spots.
I wouldn't even count out Danny Ware in the 18. I mean, this sets up for everybody to get a shot at it. So, it's interesting to see who's left. And Garrett Heath had some issues, but he's fought back through it. So impressive that he's back up and in a chance to win this.
One of those drivers not left is Jacob Bell. He's out of the race now. So I'll put 5 cars out for the moment. Ed Robertson could move up another spot.
That's right. Yeah.
He will. So Ed Robertson is going to get at least a 13th place finish.
Christian DeBoer on the pit lane. Is that right?
Yep, DeBoer is on pit road, or was on pit road. He's out now. Look like we have 11 cars on the lead lap here, and the pace lights go off. So next time around, we'll get the green flag.
All right.
Delonte Ballard to the rear. He
Well,
might have gotten an EOL.
Why is he doing that? Yeah.
He was given the EOL by race control. By his going to the back.
That is an interesting one there.
Can you find out from race control why he gets the EOL?
Once he types it to me.
Okay.
Lonzie Ballard, number 21 car.
Yep.
The Weishart still in that bottom behind 50 to 54, which did not get a good jump
I'd
here.
have done that. And look who's behind the 03 there, Danny Ware. I was just talking about him. He's put himself in a spot now.
Alrighty, boys and girls, it's going to be our one attempt at a green, white checkered. Does Ryan Hartz get the jump? Does Davey Hendricks get the win? Pace cars down pit road, and here comes the jump from the 03.
This time not as bad as it was the first run, with the 03 off to a huge run.
Being eaten up by the 54 of Davey Hendricks closing in. Contact in the back. Ware gets into the wall. We're still green. Davey Hendricks has a shot at the win.
And Hendricks is fast on the short run.
Come off turn 4. White flag in the air. 1 to go, presented by 1 to Go Studios. Ryan Hart's in the lead. Davey Hendricks closing in as they head off turn 2 for the final time.
If he's going to get him, he's going to get him on that last turn. See if he can pop something coming down the stretch here. He's pulling him in.
We see a Louisiana dive bomb. Not any type of attempt from the 54. The 03 of Ryan Hartz comes off turn 4 and wins at Dover.
My prediction has happened. Hallelujah.
Ryan Hartz holds off a fast-charging 54 of Davey Hendricks at the very end. He takes home the win in the war against the monster, 160.
Great recovery by the 23 Garrett Heath as well. Got to give him some props, and we'll talk to him in just a moment. But good run by him to come back up after some middle of the road trouble.
Oh, absolutely. So Ryan Hartz wins Tuesday night's Northern Capital Truck Series race at Dover. And Ryan Hartz pulls through again and wins at Dover, this time in the SimSpeedShop Cup Series.
And that does what for him? That locks him in, just like I said at the beginning.
Yeah, he was deep outside the top 12.
Yep.
Heading into tonight. Oh, boy, that... what a job there from Ryan Hartz in the 03.
Yep. Absolutely. 61 laps led tonight. That's fantastic.
Don't see him on here. Gonna try and get him in so we can talk to him. But right now, oh, there he is. Let's go ahead and pull him up. Our race winner Ryan Hartz has joined us in the booth. Ryan, it's Hunter, Harold, and Ken. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing good, man. That last restart. Oh boy, kind of take us through that, because the second last restart, you chose the outside and everyone got stacked up. Then you chose it again, and the 54 didn't get as stacked up as you thought. And to just take us through that last restart.
Yeah, it was interesting. I got really, really loose off of 2 on the white flag, and I thought I gave it away at that point. But luckily, I was far enough ahead of the 54 already where I could just drive it into 3 and luckily take home the win.
So we always get on this and we always decide who we're going to choose. I just want you to know, my friend, I chose you from the very beginning. We were talking about how you were 69 points out, and I said, the best way for Ryan Hartz to do it is just go out there and win tonight. So thank you very much for making my prediction happen. But what did you find tonight that you ran the truck race. I called you that night. What did you find tonight that was a little bit different? Did you have to change the way you were driving?
Well, first of all, thank you for choosing me. I appreciate that. I'm glad I can get it done for you, but I qualified really, really bad tonight. I got extremely loose in qualifying, and I don't know, even in practice, it was just sliding everywhere for me. I thought, well, I'm probably not going to be competitive tonight, But luckily, we made it through the field really, really fast. I think we were in the lead before the first quarter of the race. So I don't know. I just saved my tires really, really good, like I did in the truck race. Last night was kind of different. I kind of struggled with saving tires. But tonight I saved my stuff pretty damn good, I'll say. And luckily, I was able to pull away on long runs. But other than that, I just ran my way up through the field and luckily got the lead and never looked back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, any special shout sponsors you want to give us before you go?
Yeah, thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. You guys always do a great job. Hunter, I'll definitely talk to you in Discord soon, but thank you guys for doing the broadcast. And thanks to Jacob for doing the whole league. Thanks to all the admins, and thanks to everybody who raced me clean. And thank you to my crew chief, Brandon Melick, tonight. It seems like every time I have a crew chief with him, I always win. So I've won a lot with him, and I didn't have him last night. I didn't win, so it was kind of a bummer, but he was here tonight, and I won for him again. Yeah, thank you to you guys. Thank you to Jacob and everybody, and thank you to Brandon.
All righty, we'll let you go celebrate the win. All right, that was Ryan Hartson, the number 03, getting the win. Now let's bring up our second place driver, Davey Hendricks, in the 54. Davey, it's Hunter, Harold, and Ken in the booth. Got a copy?
I do.
Oh, boy. Well, we almost thought you had it there on that last restart. The second to last one, though, you spun the tires out quite a bit, made a little bit of contact there, thought you'd get loose. Kind of take us through those last couple of restarts.
Just terrible. Did not enjoy any of that. I was cruising before that caution came out after the long run. I didn't think Weishart was going to get to me. I felt like he had kind of like leveled off, and I thought I could hold him off. But I knew on a short run I was going to struggle because that's not usually my game. But I don't know. I somehow bring it home P2. I can't complain too much about it.
It's funny you mention the short runs because I know you don't feel that way, but I noticed in a couple of the short runs earlier on that you could actually hold tight to Ryan. And that's why I even mentioned to the guys, I said, he's been doing well kicking out. Now that, like you said, the restart, the next to the last restart, kind of looks like you spun a little bit. But man, you anytime you got rolling, you were pretty hot early on. So take me through what was the feel of the car as it went through the stages. Did you notice that the car was getting a little harder to handle towards the end of the race, or was it all about the tires and just your position?
No, it was all about tires.
Yeah.
I mean, it depended on, like, one run I came in and the right front was dead. The next run I came in, the right rear was dead. So I guess it just kind of depended how easy or how hard I drove those first couple of laps. And then, how you had to fight around lap cars and things like that. But I don't really feel like it got super hard to drive over a long run. I mean, I never smacked the outside wall or anything, so it wasn't too terrible to handle.
Alrighty, Davey. Any special shout-out sponsors you want to give out before you go?
Oh, let's see. SimSpeedShop for sponsoring the Cup Series. As always, I appreciate them coming on. Lodgebox, Northern Capital Truck for the Truck Series, Swift Lifestyles for the ARCA Series. All the guys that show up every week, everyone watching, the admins, you guys putting on a show. I think that's it.
Alrighty, Davey, we'll let you go. Celebrate that second place finish. Have a good night.
Y'all too.
Right, that was Davey Hendricks, second place finisher. Now let's bring up third place finisher here, the 23 of Garrett Heath. Garrett, it's Hunter, Harold, and Ken in the booth. Got a copy?
I do, fellas.
Boy, oh boy. You had quite an up and down race. Had some contact earlier with the lap car, but you rallied back. You got yourself a third place finish. Take us through your race.
Yeah, like you said, up and down. I'm going to say my body was not physically prepared for this race. My hands are numb. My tempers are very high right now. I am shocked that I got third. I'm glad the opportunity presented itself for me to gain a lot of positions there at the end. But just the start of the race, I just pushed it really hard in qualifying. I was drifting and somehow got the pole. And I think I led 30-something laps before I got past. The tires just started wearing really quick. Then it started acting like I was driving on black ice in that second stint. Then I don't know what happened. It's just a lot of us diming the turns. I don't know if you guys are seeing that in the broadcast. And lap car just for some reason didn't realize what we were doing, and he just rear ends me coming at two. And he was like 2 car lengths back, but I mean it is what it is. It didn't finish me off. I just after getting mad, just calmed down and just got back at it, and I was able to get a third out of it. So never give up, kids.
Yeah, well, you're not the prettiest girl at the dance, but at least you did finish in third. I did notice. It's funny you mentioned the you're starting to look like black ice. There were several times where, dude, I got to hand it to you how you held on to that car. I don't know. It was amazing. You see that back end squirrel. Yet you didn't fall far behind. You still kind of stayed in it. You did get caught up in that thing, and you're right. You were diamonding. They weren't. And that can happen. Dover's a tough track to begin with, but you know, your Infinite guys, you know they're going to hit the Twitter feed. They're going to be proud that you're in third place. But honestly, you were quick. Even when you were loose, you were quick. So I don't need a whole lot of analysis because I watched you. But man, I just want to say, great job of just fighting and hanging in there. Again, you got a third place. Can't be too upset about that.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. I'm glad I put on the show for a broadcast. I didn't know how loose I was getting. I was so focused. I just know, like, almost every lap there for a little bit, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I am hanging on. I am wheelman. Like, I'm just a wheelman right now. It's just, I can't believe it. From other previous leagues, we didn't really run these short tracks often, so I just didn't have much practice. And having a car this loose at a short track, especially on concrete with a tire model, it's like everyone here, like in the broadcast and everything, people watching at home, you guys gotta be impressed. These cars are no joke with these high horsepower, low downforce package at short tracks. It's a handful. A lot of us are just very fortunate to be in this great league and show off our talents.
Alrighty, Garrett. Got a nice third place finish. Any special shout out sponsors you want to give out before you go?
Oh yeah, I want to give a shout out to Infinite. We're building something incredible over there. We're recruiting too for the Road Series, also potential future NASCAR leagues and stuff like this one. I'm looking for some drivers in ARCA and trucks and Xfinity. But anyone that loves road or NASCAR, just send me a message on Twitter or Facebook, wherever you guys got. Just find me, look me up. If you got any questions, I'll answer them. I want to thank RB Riggs. Build great computers. I have a fully custom 3090 hybrid, and it's immaculate, water cooled. So if you guys are looking for a PC, hit me up for that too. I can hook you up with a good discount. And I want to thank Brandon, Rick Christensen for my crew chief. I want to thank Kyle, social media guy. I want to thank anyone on Infinite. We got Matthew, we got JJ, that he runs ARCA, and those guys are incredible, and I'm pretty fortunate to have them.
All righty, Garrett, we'll let you go celebrate third. Congrats on your nice run.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yep, that was Garrett Heath, our third place finisher. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Elwood Designs race recap. Ryan Hart's got the win, leading 61 laps of the scheduled 160 for the War Against the Monster. 160. 3 cautions there, one at the very end for 11 laps, 19 drivers in the field. And at the very end, I don't know if any of you guys caught it, Delonte Ballard ran the fastest lap on the last lap, a 22.115. Oh,
he would have to.
Yeah.
Now
let's take a look at your finishing results here. Reinhardt gets the win, Davey Hendricks second, Garrett third, Danny Ware fourth, and David Weishart rounding out your top 5.
Got Tyler Holman in 6th, Scott McClendon in the 29 and 7th. Garrett Grant comes back, gets an 8th out of that. Christian DeBoer finishes in 9th. And then who we just talked about, Mr. Delonte Ballard in the 21, finishing 10th.
Yeah, but then rounding out the rest of the field will be Eric Wineland in the 12, Blair Patterson in the 91, Ed Robertson in the 64, Jacob Bell, Matt Alverson, and then Ryan Honeycutt, Nate Trito, Dean Prince, and Daniel Pearson didn't make the green flag. All right, guys, any any final thoughts before we head off to our 1 week break?
Well, I know what Harold's thinking. He's thinking it's time for me to get on a boat. So I know where his thoughts are. I'm going to kind of miss the racing for a week, but I'll be all right. And just a good race tonight. I mean, it wasn't super. Miles didn't eat him up, but a good run. I liked it. Good race.
And Lottie'sTravelWorld.com is going to provide us a vacation leaving out of the Baltimore area tomorrow and onto a cruise ship on Saturday. So you can keep an eye on the Wendigo Studios Facebook site, as well as Lori and Harold Darner's Dream Vacations. Get us either way there. Or you can go up to our Lottie'sTravelWorld.com. We'll be posting stuff. I know Ken's our foodie guy, and he'll be checking out that kind of stuff. We got a GoPro, so I'll be walking the tight ropes up top deck and actually riding that new coaster, the Bolt, out there. So we got a lot of things to show our viewers in the travel industry as well. We'll put stuff on YouTube, but we definitely needing a week break. As our Garrett was saying, this PC needs a little bit of help. We muscled through last night and tonight. Looks like we had some radiator issues. We're gonna get them fixed up and hopefully get back to the high quality that is Wendigo Studios.
Alrighty, so we're off for the next week in all 4 series of Araya. So our next broadcast is going to be November 15th, Monday night, when the Araya Swift Lifestyle Pro Series tackles on Nashville Super Speedway, in which all 4 series will be running in Nashville. You can catch that out at 8:40 Eastern on the Araya Twitch channel, and you can catch the next SimSpeedShop Cup Series broadcast 2 Thursdays from now. So that is Thursday, November 18th. Same time, 8:40 on the Araya Twitch channel. From everyone up here, executive producer Harold Darner, second-hand man Ken Kushwa, I'm your lead announcer, Ernest Levitt, saying so long. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.